So day one of Offshore Europe is just winding up. And I've been here listening in, taking notes and scribbling on the board and doing my usual trick of putting up my notes on Twitter in a Twitter moment. But three things stood out for me today, and that was reality, huge numbers, and molten carbonate fuel cell. The first one, in the opening sessions, there was a good dose of reality in that there's a lot done, but the challenges ahead are huge. It was Al Cook from Equinor, called out up front that we talk about an energy transition. It's a transition. It's not an energy switch, and it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen as fast as people think or would like, and it's going to cost a lot of money. Speaking of money, it was Nicholas Pfaff from ICMA called out that, a lot of people think of what we call transition finance, that's a silver bullet and it's going to fix all the problems. He made the point that there's a lot of assets and infrastructure out there that's never going to transition. And we need to have an adult discussion as to, well, who's going to cover the cost for that? Because, stranded assets and all that's not going away. And the third one within that piece was Chris Stark from the Climate Change Committee, called out, a lot done, but let's be honest, we're not going fast enough. And he made the point that from his perspective, the oil and gas industry is not moving fast enough. And some in the oil and gas industry haven't internalized the amount of change, nor the opportunities out there. In this energy transition is hard. That was the first one. Second one was around huge numbers. It was Simon Bennet from IEA just called out the scale of this. And one quick example, he said that if we were to, in 2050, if we were to replace all of the gas we need with green hydrogen, then to generate that through electrolysis, we would need the same amount of electricity as 90% of the electricity we generate on the planet today. Now, that doesn't mean that hydrogen is going to fix everything and it's all going to be electrolysis and there's going to be other things, blah, blah, blah. But cut a long story short, just think about it. 90% of the electricity we use today would be used to just generate green hydrogen. It's massive, right? So the scale of this, back to Chris's point, we need to go a lot faster. And the last one, hey, I'm a techie. It was Malcolm Forbes-Cable from Wood gave an excellent overview of some of the R&D that's going on today around hydrogen and carbon capture and storage. And he went through multiple different technologies in terms of saltwater electrolysis, ATR is increasing, solid oxide electrolysis, thermochemical splitting. But he called out molten carbon fuel cell or molten carbonate fuel cell. I'll be honest, I never heard of that before. I had to go look it up. Anyway, that's a new one for me. So that was day one. Now, I only attended the opening plenary and the carbon capture and storage one. There are 4 other parallel sessions I didn't get around to. I suppose one of the benefits of virtual event is you can go back and look at it later, especially the Energy Island one. That's quite intriguing. On day 2, full set of sessions, many in parallel. I also have the opportunity to host Will Leonard from ABB Energy Industries for his session on asset management performance. So another busy day. See you on day 2.